Welcome into Comic Book Food Chain, guys. Sorry about that. I just noted it's in the intro. I totally put in the wrong slide, even though I just remade it, which is awesome of me. But anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about, what are we talking about, guys?
I can't even say it. It's such a dirty word. Social media.
And comics.
And comics.
So tonight, we're mostly social media.
There you go. So if you're just tuning in, guys, you were watching Comic Book Food Chain. We give you the perspective from across the Comic Book Food Chain, starting with our writer, Mr. Frank Gogol. I still do that shit because you're here on mine, but you're over here on this one. Frank, how was your week?
You're talking to me. You pointed the wrong way.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that way.
I just put my finger up and then test it.
You're like,
yeah, there you go. I'm
doing I just use points on my, because I know this is on my side, and so I know which way I'm.
So if I point at those boxes behind me, it's Frank.
Yeah,
I got
it. Left. Oh, shit. Anyway, doing all right. It's Tuesday. It feels like it has been 3 Tuesdays worth of weeks already this week.
Hell yeah.
But here we are. We made it.
I love it. Yeezy. How's your week going, buddy?
Staying busy at work and always staying busy with podcasting. So it's a ton of fun.
There you go, guys. So we've got a nice social media. Speaking of social media, guys, we're streaming live on YouTube for obvious reasons. We also stream on Facebook. We're going to get into social media and comics. I see 7 live viewers in right now. I know there's going to be people that are going to be a little late to the show. We'll welcome in who's here right now. But we're going to be giving away a few things. So you're going to want to share out, guys. I got a plethora. You like my word choice there?
Dude,
of goodies.
I'm surprised you know that word.
Public school education in the hose.
It's from audiobooks.
That's
an array, an assortment, myriad.
A myriad, guys. So you lost me already. I was happy with plethora. All right, guys. So this is what we're doing tonight. We're going to give away some stuff. So what I need you to do is, while Yeezy's going to go through and welcome everybody then that's watching, I'm going to give away some books that just came out. Frank has got the creme de la creme book that we're going to give out at the end if you guys get us to the viewership we want to be at. What do you guys think for the number 1 kickoff? We get to 20 live viewers. Which one should I give away first?
I think start with the Department of Truth and work your way up.
Boom. Department of Truth. When we get to how many viewers, guys?
Say 30. We can get 30 live people in the viewership. We'll give away that.
All right. Then, at the 40.
Sweet Paprika.
Sweet. That's wrong hand. Sweet Paprika. If we get up to the 40 viewer mark, we'll give away Nice House, the Me You Love in the Dark.
Didn't we just do 40?
Was it 30 or 40? So we got 20.
We're doing 20, 30, 40?
20, 30, 40. Let's do 20, 30, 40. We'll throw more books on the pile. If we get to the beautiful number of 50, Frank, what are you going to throw in?
I'm going to throw in this copy of the Unborn #1 announcement variant. This is you can see it. It's got foil stamping where the pink is. These were limited to 100. They sold out in about 1 minute. And I hung on to a few for my personal collection, so I figured I'd throw one in the mix. I know a couple people who do watch the show did grab them, so they can tell you how great they are. So yeah, if we hit 50, we'll make it a true daily double or whatever is the right thing to say there.
There you go. You're going to get 4 books. Get us to 50 viewers, guys. Share it out. Yeezy, who we got watching so far?
All right. I see Stephen Klein is in here early. Jay Burns, welcome in. Nigel Tunson, how's it going? Buddy McKinley, my bad. Let's see. We have Andrew Lehman. I see Jason R. Solis watching on Facebook. What's up, Ultra? How's it going, man? And Nigel Tunson again. Welcome in. Oh, there's Stacy Collect.
I love it. I love all the peeps hanging out with us. Yeah, absolutely. Welcome in, guys. All right. Share it out. Frank, what were we going to say?
I'm seeing 10 right now. So we're already halfway to the first one, right? And we usually hit somewhere between 20 and 30 anyway. So that one's a guaranteed. So start building on that foundation. Share it out. Tell your friends to come. Real quick favor. Only ask people who are actually going to give a shit about the show to come, right? We don't want spam. We don't want people subbing the channel who aren't ever going to come watch. That doesn't help us. And we want to keep doing these nice things for you guys. So just make sure that, they count.
Absolutely. All right. I'm on it.
I see 14 now. So, I mean, we're inching away for that first giveaway.
5 more. Somebody's going to get a Department of Truth by Zoo Bird City Comics exclusive. But let's talk about the subject and what we're here to do. Frank, what do we got going?
Apparently there's a a thing that goes over the slide. If you, there it is. All right. Never saw that before. So like we said, we're talking about comics and social media. This is social media in general is a hot topic of sorts. Is it pure evil? Probably. Is it important? Also probably. So we're going to tackle the kind of the nuanced, or maybe not nuanced, conversation about that. But before we get into it, we are now officially in the home stretch on our road to 1,000 subs. We are at presently, in real time, 942 subs. This time last week, we were sitting around 880. So thank you guys hugely for coming out and checking us out and supporting the channel. Let's keep that energy going. We're heading into episode 25 in a couple of weeks. It's a nice milestone episode. It'd be cool to hit 1,000 by that. But whenever we do hit 1,000, whether it's at episode 25 or 35 or whenever, we are going to give away this Canto #1. It's the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive edition.
Hey, Frank. We just hit 20 live viewers, so we are one book giveaway in.
Look at that. We're getting there. All right. So if you're watching and you are not subbed to the channel, hit that sub. We're talking about it right now. When we hit 1,000 subs, we're giving away this Canto #1 San Diego Comic-Con 2019 exclusive edition. It is signed by David Boer and Drew Zucker. They're buddies of mine. This was a gift. With their blessing, I'm giving it away as a show exclusive giveaway. So hit that sub button if you are not subbed to the channel, and we will get there sooner rather than later. So with that said, I think that brings us to our main topic, which keep making these slides because I like designing them. You guys know,
good.
What we're here to talk about. I'm still trying to figure out how to make this font work the best way I can, but it's fine. It's fine. We got a good style, even if it's not always a home run. I'm not really sure how to kick this one off, because what can be said?
So let's start this off with everybody's personal experience with social media and that pertains to our individual experiences. Frank, you are a creator. How do you go about? You got a project, you got an IP, and you're like, okay, where do you start?
I'm 100% pro social media, like all in. And I've heard all the arguments. I know what the negatives are, and I know that there is truth to a lot of that. But my view is that for somebody who isn't a known quantity, like a James Tynion or a Scott Snyder or a Greg Capullo, you have to have a way to get your name out there. And there's no better tool for it than social media.
So social media is the grind when you're trying to establish.
It's part of it, right? Cons are in that mix too. Doing store signings, putting out books that people are going to enjoy and come back for the next one. Like there are a lot of moving parts to it, but social media is one of the most consistent daily ones. Like every day, it's Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And with that in mind, I have thought long and hard about how to turn those things into tools for it rather than just social platforms. So my Facebook friends list isn't my family and friends. It's fans and other creators and retailers and people who need to hear about my books. And like, that's something I've curated over time and really spent a lot of time working on. Same thing with Twitter, same thing with Instagram. But just like I said, I'm all in. I do understand the drawbacks. They're very real, but I think it's like a hammer, right? You can use it to build a house, or you can use it to bash somebody's skull, and it just depends on what your intent is.
That's absolutely. So I can tell you guys, my personal experience with social media platforms is I was afraid of them for a long time. It's not outside of my generational gap. So this is very much a part of, my age range of what people use. And I navigated away because I was afraid of disconnecting with people on a real level. And again, guys, me, I try to keep it as real as I can without offending anybody. But I feel like social media, people project what they want you to see. Here's my brunch. Maybe you go to brunch once a month. You post it once a week, you're a brunch person. So I think we use a lot of social media to mask our everyday and put the best of us forward, which isn't a bad thing. It's cool if that's what you're into. No judgment here. So again, that fear stemmed for me was like, I want to call my mom. I don't want to message my mom on Facebook, or I want to get together for brunch. I don't want to be like, oh, this is what I ate today. And then once comics got incorporated, it was extremely necessary because this is the best way to reach a mass audience at once in real time. I started thinking about old school ways of getting in front of people, and you're talking flyering, phone calls, email blasts, which I guess could be social media at some point or another, but this is a way to do it in real time. Facebook Live videos is where I lived. I mean, I own that shit. So, it's completely necessary. Again, Frank hit it on the head. You guys can use it for a positive. You can use it for a negative. It's kind of the point. It's your right as a person that lives in this beautiful country to do what the fuck you want with it. But there are a lot of rabbit holes to go down. So I'm all for it. Pro social media. Yeezy.
All right. Before I get into my thoughts on social media, I thought Shay had a really good question. I'm guessing to Frank. They were asking, how do you handle art theft from posting on social media?
I mean, there are things you can do to protect yourself, and we could probably do a whole episode on this. Like the first is, not uploading your high res art, right? Upload the web quality 72 DPI. Maybe even a little more pixelated than that, so that way somebody can't steal and use your art. The other thing is like just being on top of it, right? Like if you see somebody stole your art, like shut that shit down, right? DCMA is reaching out to third parties who are selling stuff like that. Like, since I'm not an artist, this isn't something I deal with on a daily basis, but a lot of my friends do. And like watching how they handle it, I figured out at least some of what you need to do, and those are definitely a couple of the big ones.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that since I deal with so many exclusives, I had no idea what it was when they put the high res image file in. What is it, like yellow, crayon, magenta?
Oh, CMYK.
Yeah, I had to Google that.
Did you say crayon?
Watch it, Gogol. This is how I stop it now.
The K is black.
Yeah.
Dude, I Googled it. Like, no shit. They're like, I sent the YM blah, 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 Kyle. And I'm like, fuck is that? So I look it up and I'm like, it's the colors.
So the difference between that is you print in CMYK because it gives you a wider range. Monitors like we're looking at are RGB, red, blue, green. And those are the only colors you need. 4K monitors, it's a little bit different, but generally web quality stuff is done in RGB. Yeah.
The when we did the Tula Lotte Sweet Paprika, she kept calling me Ace, and I'm like, that's kind of flirty. And she's like, I sent you the 5K, Ace, and I'm like, she's British. She's not flirty.
So, anyways, yeah.
I feel like there are context clues there. Anyway.
Yeah, with social media, it's for a fan, it could be mixed. Like, I definitely used it a lot as a tool to connect with other collectors when I was first getting back into collecting. I joined different Facebook groups to find out, like, well, how does this community treat each other? Like, what's the, I guess, what are the protocols for buying and selling online? That kind of thing. And, I thought it was particularly interesting because, I first saw Frank, like, on, probably, like a YouTube channel like this. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting a friend request from Frank. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then, by that time, I had already met Ant, like, I think our first interaction in person was y'all were having a live show, and then I think I put a smart ass remark saying like, oh yeah, and they'll call you like in the middle of a live show, and then
I remember this, Frank. Okay, so
yeah, and then y'all actually called me when I was like sitting in my room buying comics from y'all. So I thought it was really
FaceTime this ass. I was like,
buying comics, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I thought it was hilarious, and so I think that's like how we first really connected, like really well. And then we jumped on a podcast together, promoting like one of your news store exclusives, and then and then I think and then we were talking like, oh, we should probably get a creator. I was like, oh, let's hit up Gogol because he just posted like one of his New Year's goals was to actually start a podcast. So
I chum the water.
You know what's funny? Is that when this came about, real quick side story, is that, you probably thought I was hitting on him because I hit him up and I'm like, look, dude, you're presentable, you speak well. And he's like, I'm like, you're not a bad looking guy to be on camera. And he's all, I'm like, don't make it weird. I'm just saying, I think we could do a podcast. If you're like, Sloth from the Goonies, maybe not so much.
While we're on the topic of like public personas, like on social media, because you were touching on that a little bit.
Sure.
I just want to let everyone who watches this show know that the three of us have public personas, and they are not necessarily the ones we have at home. What we do on this show or on Facebook or on the Bird City Live show is an approximation of who we are. And there are certain things you filter out. You don't want, like Ant was talking about how you present your best life on social media. Right?
Yes.
You look through a white girl's Instagram, and it's regardless of who it is,
avocado toast after avocado toast after avocado toast. I get it.
And
Selfie.
cheery quote, selfie, perfect selfie. That's sort of what we have to do as people who have business with other people. You have to be persona. So like there's a positive side of that too, right? It can be real negative that people aren't being necessarily honest about who they are online, but there's also like a reason for it, right? Like I'm going to put Ann on the spot here. Ann has kids.
Yeah,
his kids have come in and out of our feeds before. I don't know that if I had kids, I would want that. I would be cool with that, right? Like, because you never know who's watching, right?
Yeah.
Somebody come to your house and fucking slit your kid's throat, right? Like, it's got dark real quick.
Wow,
how long did it take me? But the persona thing is it's interesting to me because it's absolutely necessary for whatever your reasons are. But it, like the hammer, can be a really powerfully good thing, or it can be like a way to kind of mask like who you really are. I have definitely met people online, people who were potential collaborators or fans who were one way, and then maybe I met them in real life and it's almost like online dating on a grand scale, right? Like it's no one is who they say they are online.
Well, and let me touch on this real quick, and to add to your point, and I'm just going to share something a little personal. And Yeezy knows this because I've had a struggle with this. When you do live shows and you're trying to sell something, you're trying to sell a product, you do the persona thing. I want to be super customer service oriented. I want to sell books. I want to give people the best deal I can. And I know Yee has been in sales where people take advantage of that persona. The problem is it's a persona. So when they cross that line with you, super side note, guys, I'm the nicest guy you ever meet. Just let me say that.
That's what I was actually trying to say before I started talking about killing kids.
Right.
That's where I was going. I totally got off the rails.
So I am not to be fucked with in person, just to say. I've got to switch.
He's a very big guy.
And yes, so I will be nice. I will hug. I will love. Just don't fuck with me. And I built up this persona. People started taking advantage, and it got bad. And Yee was around for this, where people were taking advantage of me, were telling me off. And I was like doing the customer service thing, like, all right, guys, I'm so sorry. We're deep inside. I'm thinking to myself, I'm about to wreck some houses right now. And Yee knows this. He's been
phrase mean. I feel like you use it for whatever.
Dude, I don't know. I picture like I want to go and just like take your home, tip it over. You walk out front, go, what the fuck, and be like, you know why?
He's turning into the Incredible Hulk, man. Just let him go with it.
But like, last week, my what we're eating picks were house wreckers.
You were a home wrecker. No, house wrecker. You're right.
Listen, what I do in my personal time has nothing to do with
I get everybody's got hobbies. I totally understand. But again, guys, that's a super home wrecking's a passion. We're tuning in episode 24. But anyway, guys, so that was something personal. It is a persona. I'm about it. I want customer service. I want to be friendly. I want to sell books. But at the same time, people will push that envelope. You give a mouse a cookie mentality, especially with customers, guys. These people, I've made this comment multiple times. I can't stand if I put up a book for $50 and somebody goes, I'll give you 25. In my mind, I go, okay, I got to be professional and I got to keep up the persona. I have to negotiate with this person. But deep down, I'm thinking, fuck off. Like super.
Right.
But I can't do that because I run a business.
Yeah. And then, but people were definitely taking advantage of your kindness. Like,
See, he knows he was here for this. It got tense.
It got to a point pretty bad too, like where I won't name names, but there was definitely people that were always offering you, like, you throw up a $40 book and then it's like, I'll give you $1 for it. All right, I'll give you $2. And it's like kind of like
why shit is even not funny.
It's funny like one time, but like when it's
Right.
for every book, like it gets bored and tiring.
And that was the persona I put out there, though. That was what I created it was a comfort zone that people had with me. And then I had to pivot and say, okay, realistic offers, not to be a dick, but don't waste my time because I got shit to do.
Yeah. But to bring it back around then, but personas are incredibly important. There's a professionalism there, right? Like,
absolutely.
You don't say, a good rule of thumb is don't say anything on Facebook you wouldn't say to your mother, right? Unless you hate your mother, then don't find another rule.
I love my mom, but I say some crazy shit to her.
All right. Well, pretend like you're talking to somebody else's mom.
Okay. I get you though. I get what you were saying with it.
But like for me, like I I have a lot of political opinions. I'll never fucking tell you guys what they are. Like,
Oh, hell no.
This is who I voted for.
That's social media suicide right there.
Right.
Well,
Like, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you fall. There's a half a group that wants the opposite to be the truth.
Absolutely.
It's like those rules that, like, when you go out drinking, there's certain rules that you don't ask or discuss things that you could discuss about when drunk or intoxicated, because you know it's going to escalate to something worse.
I don't even think you have to be not drunk. Like, I feel like you just
but
don't
you
talk.
know what I mean, though. Yeah.
But
it's
like
the same kind of rules.
But one of the things I've had to adapt over the years is not talking about my politics, right? I scrubbed them from my Facebook. You'll never fucking know. If you know me, you do. If they're not a part of my identity. But like, it's a really good example of the kind of shit that you have to be really careful about, right? Because one of the dangers of social media is the mob mentality, right? It doesn't take a lot of people.
Yeah.
It just takes a few loud people.
Yep. So something that I've always thought was interesting with social media is that, again, I'll reference this great country that we live in. You're allowed to think what the fuck you want. Whether we agree with you or not, it is your God-given right living here to think what you want to think. Most of the time, we're not going to agree. It's fine. It's the point. But when you have these personas and you do something professionally, you're not even allowed to think what you want to think. Like Frank's saying, he can't tell you his political views because somebody's going to discriminate against him for them. And it creates a whole nother area that we need to live in as far as social media is concerned. And it gets pretty damn interesting some days.
Well, that, and like it also limits who I can work with. Like, because I wrote a Power Rangers book. If I came out as a super left person or a super right person, and that post got picked up by Bleeding Cool, and then they associate my name with Boom Studios, like that's negative for the person who gives me work, and they're not going to come want to work with me again, right? Like and unfortunately, that's the world we live in. And
you're Karen at that point.
Speaking of Power Rangers, we have
I know,
a question
right?
from the audience. So
here we go.
Stephen is asking, question, Frank, what was your reaction when you first introduced in writing Power Rangers Unlimited?
It was a mix of two emotions. First was like, fuckingly, because I had known for about 6 months before it got announced, or maybe not that long, 4 months. But then also like, oh crap, it got announced. I woke up on I want to say it was a Thursday morning. I did my morning routine, which involves making coffee and using the restroom. And as I was doing those things, I scrolled through social media and saw I was tagged in something, and that was how I found out. I found out with the rest of you guys when it got announced. I mean, I knew about the book, but the announcement was a surprise to me too.
That's kind of cool though.
It was exciting. It was exciting. It was awesome. Yeah. Because we were waiting for it.
And we were very proud of you too. That was awesome to hear when you were like, guys. And I was like, hell yeah.
He was so excited. It was funny.
Dude, when one of your homies makes it, you kind of make it a little bit too with them. It's like Entourage style.
I was just going to say, did you ever see that show Entourage?
Yeah.
I'm bringing you guys with me to Power Morphicon.
I love it.
Nice. So, all right. So, yeah, Shay was asking.
I took down a comment. I didn't mean to. Put it back up.
Is there a difference between the way male and female personas are treated in public?
Oh God, yes.
The simple answer is yes, right? That is a really nuanced conversation that I don't know that we should have, just because
not without a female perspective.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like if we had Laura on with us, like I think we could have a really good conversation about that. But the simple answer is yes. Obviously, men and women are treated differently in society and different expectations, fair or not, regardless. And that, but in and of itself, creates a scenario where people have to act differently.
Oh yeah, well, and that's the funny thing. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Bird City Comics live shows no longer feature Laura because it got weird. And don't get me wrong, and I had haters too. They were like, "Oh, you're just putting your wife on camera because she's hot." Duh. If I had a fucking 6-pack, I'd do the show shirtless, but I don't. So I wear a shirt.
It's called leaning into your marketing assets.
I love it. That was fantastic. But we had to take her off camera because we get the creepers that roll in and they're like, "Hey, you have a fans only page?" Just like, dude, we're selling comics, guy. And then we have to, and then it just gets weird. So we move on. It's a whole game, guys. You got to kind of roll with it and see where you end up some days. Again, which is funny because we've been bashing social media. But social media makes us our living. We survive off of it.
This Unborn guy right here that I'm putting up when we hit 50 live viewers. So keep sharing that out.
Absolutely.
I sold those on Facebook, right? Almost exclusively through Facebook. I just posted on Facebook, had people amped up, warmed up for it. And they sold out like faster than anything else I've ever sold. And that's one of the positives, right? Social media offers us a lot of opportunity to reach a lot of people. Ant was touching on that earlier. I think as a creator and probably as a retailer, that's the biggest value, right? Like Ant lives in Arizona. It lets him talk to people in Nevada and Ireland and Russia and like everywhere else too. Just not just his own backyard. Same for me. I have fans in South Africa. I've never been to South Africa. I might never get there. But I was at New York Comic Con a couple years ago. A friend of mine brought a South African guy over, and we were talking, and he asked me my name, and I was like, "Oh, Frank Gogol." He was like, "Oh, Dead End Kids." I fucking love that book with his accent, and I was like,
"Badass."
Are you out of your? Did you just say that for real? Anyway, the scope of it and the reach of it is so important. It's also
how good does that make you feel, though? Isn't that awesome?
So much makes me feel good.
Oh my goodness.
That is one of the top 5.
Well, I've got 2 buyers from Australia. I don't know if that's far or close. To me, it seems far because I always go like right when you're looking at the map, but they're probably the back end, which is probably.
I think it's about as far on the globe as you can get where there's civilization. Like maybe Antarctica, but. So
I've got 2 buyers from Australia, and I'm like, I reach Australia, guys. That's badass to me.
Yeah. Being on like tons of podcasts, especially on the late night ones with It's Drunken Chat, son. My first 2 fans, one was from Singapore and the other one was from Australia. Like just from being on It's Drunken Chat, and then they reached out to me on Instagram and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Now, can I ask you a question? Do you have an OnlyFans page?
I do, and I read comics naked. So if you would like to hit up my Instagram.
I just thought of like the Deadpool where he's laying on the bearskin rug.
Yeah, with my arm sideways.
OnlyFans.com/eazy.
Yep. Oh my god! Right. So speaking of social media, I gotta get the mental image out of my head. We're gonna do our first Whatnot sale on Wednesday.
We being Bird City Comics, not
Bird City Comics. I just got a box of CGC slabs, all the Venom keys from the Donny Cates run, 3s, 7s, 9s, a bunch of variants. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with Whatnot, so I would encourage you to go and subscribe to whatever I don't even know how it works, guys. I'm super new to it. Click the button and follow me, and super take advantage of me because I'm sure I'm going to fumble my way through trying to sell these slabs. But again, a new platform. We talked about it last week. It's social media. I'll probably advertise it the shit over on Facebook. It's going to be awesome.
Get them while he's vulnerable.
That's it. Because it's auctions. Like you used to do auctions back in the day, and they just make it easier for you now. Like
I got burned on auctions though.
No, but I mean, like, okay, so let me break it down how it works.
Okay, hit me with it.
All right, so you can set your timer to like a minute, 2 minutes, whatever, and then you can either set it where it's sudden death, where as soon as it hits 0, it ends, or you can have like I forgot what the other clock is called, but not sudden
like
death.
The extension, like within the certain text. Okay.
Yeah. So if someone puts in the bid in the last 10 seconds, it extends it another 10 seconds.
I like it. All right. Yeah. So I got to figure all this out by Wednesday. I'm sure I'll mess it up. I'm sure you guys will get some badass stuff. So
just preload your books. So
I don't know how to fucking preload anything. Come on, man. What does that mean? Preload your books.
Just watch someone else's show.
Take this shit backstage. We are on a clock.
PC load letter. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, but interesting that you brought this background. We talked about Whatnot and like third-party apps last week, and the line is kind of starting to blur, right? Like,
right,
yeah.
Like their live sales, like pandemic live sales, especially, like have really changed the landscape and the market and how people use social media. Side hustle has become a big part of social media. It wasn't always that way. It is for me. It is definitely for Ant. And now to see sort of these really gray area apps that are essentially eBay meets social medias is an interesting direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you guys are just tuning in, guys, we are 9 live viewers away from me throwing another book on a pile. You guys know those social media sales, they call them stackers. Currently at 20 views, we are giving away a Department of Truth Zoo or Zoo COA included. That is now on the pile. But if we get 9 more live subs, the Tula Lotte Sweet Paprika is going to go into the pile. So let's get there.
The less cool cover, but anyway.
Yeah, there's the booby one too, but I don't have Post-it notes handy, so
just use your little pinkies.
Just like I love
pinkies
it.
Up.
All right, so I think I hammered it pretty good. Gogol, we got a pretty good perception on our aspects of social media and comics. You kind of touched on some stuff. Do you have anything else you want to add to this, really?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's like two approaches, like for someone that's like a part of the community. Like, you know, they can either be super helpful, or, you know, if it's like a mob mentality, like you can be ripped to shreds. So it's like, what kind of person do you want to be, or how would you like to be treated when you don't know about something, which no one knows everything about comics? How would you like to be treated? I think that's what the most important thing is.
That's just some golden advice right there. It's almost like if there
sure.
were a rule that we could all follow.
That was golden by chance.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be one day.
There's something out there.
Yeah, but you know, it's a thing, you know, like where, you know, you see it all the time where someone new is like getting into the hobby, and then, you know, they can be ripped to shreds, or, you know, someone could be helpful towards them. So
you want to know what my favorite things to read on social media are? I don't know if you guys subscribe, but there's a group that's for like, you post your bad interactions with people, like your disputes and bad sales, and put people on blast. I know it's bad. I fucking love reading that thing.
Dude, I am addicted to reading the comments of anything, especially like I'm part of the CBSI Facebook group. And I'm not a big spec guy, but like it's nice to kind of keep a finger on it. But reading some of the stuff that's in there, and so some of the things people think are like good things to post, but then like also watching hundreds of comments of people telling them what I'm thinking, but like way meaner.
Right. I love it.
Like it's some of these people are artists. Like they find a way to take 10 words and make them cut deeper than any knife.
I always feel super ghetto when I'm reading them too, because like the guy will write like, I bought this book and then I found it posted on eBay and it was the same photos. I'm like, I shouldn't have paid him friends and family. Hell no, you shouldn't have paid him friends and family. And I'm just like, I'm like throwing out my commentary as I'm reading this, and it's super entertaining. Like, and I know it's bad because somebody got screwed over. Social media, of course, did it to them. There's a dark end to it, but it's hilarious because it's always the same warning signs. Friends and family found multiple pictures on different platforms of the same exact item.
The price is too good to be true.
And they buy it anyway. And I'm reading this thing going, I predict the ending of this movie way before I even got through the whole spiel. It's super entertaining as hell. So, all right, we got another question here. Steven's been pretty active in here. Let's give him some love. What inspired you to do Unborn?
Social media. keeping it on brand.
You're such a smart ass.
No, all right. So I'll tell the story really quick because it is not related.
I know this story, and I'm wondering what version he's going to give you, but I'm on board.
I work a lot of conventions when I'm able to. I'm doing my first one next week. I'm kind of scared. Anyway, not important. San Diego Comic-Con is a beast. It's essentially 6 days, right? 4 of the days are con, 2 of them are travel. A lot of drinking, a lot of not sleeping, a lot of working all day, a lot of people there not to talk to you. It's horrible. And by day 2 in 2019, I was losing my mind already. So at the Source Point press booth, we play a game where we just have each other pitch the most stupid ideas we can. Something to make us laugh, something to make us think a little bit, something to kind of just keep us engaged. And at some point, in my delirium, maybe it was day 3, no sleep, I said, what if the xenomorph from Alien, this big fucking black sucker thing, got loose in the Power Rangers Megazord, was chasing him around? And it's a dumb idea. It's not what the book is really about, but it stuck with me and it evolved into the book that eventually became Unborn.
Cool.
So that's the story.
And you're sticking to it.
There's no such thing as a bad idea if you think about it long enough.
Especially once it gets published, then it's for realsies.
It's a bad idea to push politics on the social media. I take it back. There is one bad idea.
Yeah, for real. Jesus. I think I posted really early in my social media career, and I'm terrible at this, but I saw a post, and I won't even tell you what it is. And I was like, that's funny. So I posted it again without giving it context, going like, this person's a moron. And I got hammered. Like, you're stupid. I can't believe you posted this. Is supposed to be about comic books. And I'm like, whoa. I'm on your side. But I didn't type like a caption going, this person's an idiot. And so I had to like remove it right away. I'm like, okay, that's a bad idea. Never do this again. Had nothing to do with comics.
I must admit, I would get off social media if I could.
Mm-hmm.
It is impossible for me to achieve my goals without it, though. That is just the 21st century. That is just what 2021, 2022 looks like for a comic book creator. But there's a lot of venom out there. And like I'm constantly calling people from my Facebook list, constantly like I get a lot of friend requests from people I don't know, and I'm pretty liberal
with accepting them.
With accepting them, not my politics, or maybe my politics. You'll never know. But I like generally, unless somebody's like flying a swastika, I'll give them a shot. Maybe, yeah. That tells you as much as you need to know about my politics. But yeah, like still, I'm surprised, and like it's not just regular people. It's comic fans, other creators, right? Like there are creators on both ends of the spectrum being very like I'll call out a couple names. There EVS on one side of things and Aubrey Sisson on the other side, right? Like Aubrey got taken off of G.I. Joe for having way too liberal ideas and saying some things he shouldn't have. Everyone knows what's going on with EVS. I'm not judging or commenting on either, but like it is not just one side or the other who are making this mistake. Keep that shit to yourself, especially if you want to like have a calm career and get work.
Well, and that's what I'm thinking. If you're looking to collect a paycheck, it's kind of like oh man, I don't even know I should say this.
No, I do it.
Okay, I'm not agreeing one way or another, but like the NFL kneeling thing, okay? These guys are at work, and that was they should be allowed to do it. They're collecting a paycheck. Somebody is paying them to be there. So let's say I'm not an NFL player and I work at the Amazon packing facility. Am I going to take like a kneeling break, like in the middle of my shift for some type of movement? No, I'm collecting a paycheck to be there, so I need to work.
You'll be lucky if you get a restroom break.
Right. And so I'm saying like do that on your time. And everybody's like, I'm using my platform. There's a game going on. You're there. You're getting paid, bro. Use it at the podium or use it when you're at a restaurant. No, they don't do that shit there. I get it. But I'm just saying, when there's work involved, it's a completely different mentality people need to have. Frank's not going to touch it. I get it.
Not touching it. Yeah. So I think we've got a fun segment tonight, and we're doing what we're eating live tonight since we didn't get a chance to record it this week. So if there are any final thoughts on this portion of the show, what do you got, Ant?
Social media is kind of like buzz driving. You might be all right, but it's probably not a good idea to really do what you want to do.
I think you are knocking on the door of something profound, but you didn't quite cross the finish line.
I couldn't figure out exactly how to say it without pissing one side or the other off, but call an Uber when it comes to social media.
What? You're going further in the wrong direction, man. All right, easy. Bring it back. Get some sanity, bro.
Social media, it can be your best friend or it could be your worst enemy. And, it's just how you choose to use it.
Oh, okay. So Jay just had a comment. If we could bring that up. It's not the last comment, the one before it. Not a question. Yeah. Do not invite me to like your fucking page. If you invite me to like your page, I will unfriend you. All right. If I want to like your page, if I'm into what you're doing, I'll go like your page.
Do you like the Bird City Comics page?
I unliked it.
Fucker, I'm checking right now.
I'm going to send you an invite to like my band page from 5 years ago.
Me?
No.
I was going to say, I don't like anybody's shit. I'm like, denied.
No, it's not so much that I don't care about being invited to pages. I hate being spammed, right? Shoot me a message and say, hey, I'm an artist. Here's my art. If you like it, like my page. Hey, I've got a business. I make fucking soaps shaped like Yoda. If you love Yoda, give my page a like, right? But just sending me a request to like your page without telling me what value it's offering to my life is a bad way to do it, right? People do it for Kickstarters all the time. Not great. If hey, I have a Kickstarter life, go back it. That is not a message you should be sending me, let alone anyone. Hey, I've got a Kickstarter going. Here's what it's about. If that's your jam, feel free to like it. Or if you can't, maybe share out the link or whatever. There's a right way and a wrong way to do things. And spamming Frank is a bad one. Don't do it. I'll fucking remember too.
We got a mission.
Make a fake business and then or fake Kickstarter and send it to Frank and see if he likes it or not.
Yep.
We should probably discuss that privately.
We got some planning to do, buddy. Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. You'll never get the crown.
Hey, technically, you should be shipping that to me, but you got that whole handout, tie from last time. But it's okay. Hey, all right.
It wasn't an official comic book food chain Olympic event.
Oh my god, we have that now.
I see how it's gonna work now. Anytime he doesn't win, it's not official.
It wasn't sanctioned.
Listen, I have the belt. I will give out title opportunities.
I like it, as you should. I like it. All right,
wait. I have something really important to tackle. Actually, all right, I'm an American. I'm happy to be an American. I'm proud to be an American. I'm not overly patriotic by any means.
Sure.
I'm by no means a nationalist or anything crazy extreme like that. But when it comes to the fucking Olympics, I am. And we are down by 8 medals, gold medals right now.
Let's go.
And we need to pick it up, right?
Yep.
I think we're going to win basketball. We're looking good. It's a little scary at the beginning. I didn't realize dancing horses was an Olympic event, but maybe we can do that. Surfing, we got the gold.
Yep.
Native Hawaiian Islander took the first ever surfing gold too. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I don't even give a shit about the Olympics. I just want America to win, and I don't know what's going on with me. So if you see some weird Facebook posts about that, just let it slide.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Please try not to have an issue with the nation that we live in winning some shit. So we'll move. I like it.
Yeah, the only other people who should be winning the Olympics are nobody.
Dude, that's the thing. You got to draw lines. I don't give a shit. Everybody's like, well, I would feel bad if they lost, but I love them. Fuck that.
There are select athletes from other countries who I like to see win.
I love that the Philippines won a gold medal, their first ever. That was fantastic.
Their second medal ever, too.
Was
first gold, second medal. They won silver in 1922 for shooting, maybe. My wife told me. My wife's grandfather or great grandfather was like the ambassador to the Philippines in the World War II era. So
we need to have a conversation. Frank,
I don't know anything about this. I just know that she knows a lot about the Philippines because of that. So she always drops these tidbits.
What conversation did I walk into?
Wait, time out. Does your wife know that she's way too good for you because she's got gala? Her parents go opera stuff. Her grandfather was an ambassador. Like she knows you're Frank Gogol, right?
You see these Power Rangers toys?
The toys got her hooked. I love it.
15, 20 years from now, they're going to be worth
She's like
$5 or $6 more than they are now.
You see these trade paperbacks behind me?
Did you guys notice? I guess you can't see it, but I added extensions to my shelves, so they're a block higher now. They almost touch the ceiling. That's how much of my own stock.
Frank, you and I have something in common. We both tricked really good women into sticking with us.
Just like my politics, no comment.
All right, easy. Sorry. Let's keep it cruising.
If you want to know what bait we used, private message us.
Just PM me. I will tell you how I got her done. That's fantastic. All right, I love it. All right, where are we going with this thing? We're going to what we're eating?
No, we're gonna pivot over to the fun segment. So let me queue up that deck. We're switching decks. We're gonna hot swap them real quick. Is that the preferred nomenclature? Hot swap.
Let's go with it because I don't know a better one.
Yeah, I use that in tech all the time, where it's like it's on right now, and then you swap it. A hot swap.
See. So, do you guys remember what this is? I walked you through it. I'm going to explain it for everyone anyway.
Yeah, I have my sheet of paper ready.
All right, keep it down for just a second while I hit the present button. There. All right, bring it up. So since we're talking social media, I wanted to play a fun game called Who Tweeted It? I have collected 5 tweets from the comic book Twitter realm. I have blacked out who said the tweets. I'll present them with the person's information blacked out. And ye will each have some amount of time, 15, 20, 30 seconds, I don't know, I don't really care, to write on a piece of paper who they think said that. They will both reveal their answers at the same time. I will award a point if they're correct. We're not gonna play for a threshold of points because I don't know that they're gonna necessarily get some of them. I tried to make it fun, but let's kick it right off. But right before we do, can we get a live count? How?
We're at 22 live viewers. I just 8 away from the next giveaway.
All right. So if you're watching, if you're in the comments, Share out the link. If you want the U.S. to win the Olympics, share out the link to this to people who like comic book shit and tell them to come watch. So you can win a free book, maybe.
Mhm.
All right.
Or if they're really good friends, they could give it to you too.
Yeah. X gonna give it to you. Anyway, let's get going. First tweet from July 14th of some year. That's right, folks. Nice House number 1 is going back to print again for a third printing. And we finally decided to make all of you a cheat sheet for the characters. Exclamation point, exclamation point. Who said it? Tim, who's not here, give me 20 seconds on the clock. All right. Ant's saying Justin Timberlake 4. That is incorrect. Ye also said Justin Timberlake 4. That you're both incorrect. It was James Tinian.
That's what we said.
That's who JT4 is.
JT.
No, bro. JT is Justin Timberlake. Get your heads checked.
Okay, I'll give you that, but I held my paper up first, so I get a half a point.
Well, it's not who. It's like Final Jeopardy, right? You can both get it right. What did you bid?
I bid $1 million.
That's nothing, Dr. April. It's nothing. All right. Well,
I was bidding a bag and board because I know those are hard to get.
Fuck yes.
Dude, that's gold right now.
For real.
All right. So that's a flavor. I gave you guys the easy one off the bat. They're not going to get any better. So strap in. Next up. Today was the first day I ever did a tweet myself. Before today, my account was done by others. I still do not have control of my Facebook. Someone else is doing it, not me. Who said it?
Ooh, somebody old.
Is it?
It's got to be somebody older that doesn't understand the tweet book and the Faceagram.
I think you might be barking up the wrong tree. If I have
these,
maybe. All right, on 5, on the count of 5, which is weird. No one's ever said that before in history. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who do you got? Let's see, Donnie Cates, Frank Miller. Ooh, you're both wrong. Stanley.
What the hell?
Oh, I was thinking it was.
I know. That's why I lied.
That's hilarious.
I wasn't sure if he was still alive at that point in time.
This was 3 years
2018.
ago.
Yeah, he was around.
Yeah,
but it was.
And I said somebody old, and you threw me off the path. That's not fair.
Old is relative, right?
Oh, is the oldest state of mine, or are we talking physically? See,
man, we should know these too. These are all like
honestly
iconic.
Even with my crazy good red herring, you should have gotten this one.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the next one. See if you guys can redeem yourself. I already anticipate no one is getting a shot at the crown, though.
Nice.
The final act of Zack Snyder's Justice League is the best superhero action on film. You'll see. # Justice League Snyder Cut. This is an example of how somebody can have a bad opinion on social media and treat it as fact.
ready?
On 3, 2, 1. What do you got? Chiboy Max. No, Scott Snyder. Both incorrect.
Easy, the CEO of HBO Max.
Was for you, bro.
Dang. I should have known that.
Now you can tell. You should have known because the word lie is in the middle of his name. Just throwing that out there, guys. This game might be a little harder than I thought it was going to be.
I guess I need to get on Twitter or something.
I think the point should be rewarded to the funniest incorrect answer if we don't get it.
Neither of yours was like that. CEO of HBO Max. Fine, that's pretty good. All right, I'll give you a pity point.
A pity point. I'll take it.
Retroactively, let's. Who got the 3 points then? What was the first? You both did JT3.
James Tynion. Yeah.
No point. What even was the
nobody got
one?
Stanley? Yeah.
Stanley, Frank Miller, and what was yours? Donnie Cates.
Donnie Cates.
Frank Miller was probably closer.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll call it 1-1 then.
1-1. Okay.
So this is for the win.
There's 2 more though.
Okay.
2 more. All right.
But don't get your panties in a bunch, We'll get there.
What makes you think he's wearing underwear?
No, right?
What makes you think I'm
all right. Here we go. Just saw that I've received multiple death injury threats over blank. So a few things. 1, I'm not changing my plans for these characters. 2, threatening my life or injury to me is not a way to champion your cause. And 3, shipping is fine, but this is insane. Who said it?
I went back to an old one.
You got it. Donnie Cates.
Dang,
Fuck yeah, Ye.
This was in reference to, I believe, the relationship between Eddie Brock and the symbiote, and people shipping that. I missed this controversy, but found this tweet and thought it was pretty good. Thought it fit the theme pretty well. All right, so it's 2-1 going into the final, with only a chance to tie.
Right.
That's right.
Are you guys? Well, let's test the waters here. How are you guys feeling about this? You pumped? You having
I'm
a good
feeling
time? Golden. This next one's a hard one.
I feel like a gold medal's coming my way. USA.
I'm feeling like a meh. Like I should probably be on Twitter more.
I like it.
That wouldn't have helped. I never saw any of these tweets either. All right. Here we go. And
Britney
last up,
Spears in the comments. Really?
honestly, that was closer than some of the answers you guys were giving.
Probably. That's very true.
I think Britney Spears could have tweeted "This is the first day I'm controlling my social media." One.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is horrible. Free Britney. All right, let's bring it home.
Leave
Ready?
her alone. All right,
right.
sorry.
This next one, just to keep it interesting, is a lightning one. Whoever can write it down and show the screen fastest. Ready? Man, that Stray Dogs exclusive trade paperback over at Big Bird City Comics looks sick.
Oh.
Boom! Easy got it for the time.
I started to write out Trish, and then I finished reading it.
Yes.
What was the giveaway? How'd you know?
Big Bird City garbage.
I was expecting to see Big Bird in there, but
It says Big Bird City Comics.
I was listening and ready to write. He saw it and went. That's unfair. Shenanigans, I called it.
I'm so sorry. Tell you what, flip a coin. You can see who won.
But real quick, guys, we are 5 live viewers away from me throwing this onto the stacker pile. So if you guys are just tuning in, we're at a little friendly competition right now. I think we're tied 2-2. So this next question is the big one, right?
There are no next questions.
Damn
we're only 5, and you both screwed the pooch on the
All
first
right,
one.
think of some random ass thing, Frank, to ask us so we can write down.
Okay,
Just for the tiebreaker.
this is a question. It is about opinions, and whoever gets my opinion correct will get the 3rd point.
Bring it.
What is the greatest NFL team?
God.
You don't have to write it down. You can just yell it out.
Patriots.
Ant said Patriots. You, what'd you say?
I said Giants.
Ooh, you're both so wrong.
Really?
As a proud 49ers fan, I cannot condone either of
Wait,
those.
time out. But
Oh,
you're
yeah.
a Penguins fan on hockey.
Penguin,
I should have known that.
That's
Well,
Pittsburgh.
And then he's on the
I'm
West
going
Coast right now.
east.
Okay.
But he's on the West Coast now.
I love all the Boston sports teams except the Patriots.
Oh, God. Me too, though, so I'm right.
Proud 49ers fan.
All right,
Um,
so we both failed.
All right. When is my birthday? Month. What month is my birthday?
October.
Boom. You win.
I don't stalk you on social media.
No.
You said you were going to buy me birthday drinks
He
at Baltimore
drinks at
Comic Con.
Baltimore. Exactly.
See?
Who's the better listener?
I'll bring the smart bet out.
Damn.
Dude, hey, what's your shirt made out of? Easy, what's your shirt?
Boy?
I was going to say, what's Yeezy's shirt made out of? Boyfriend material?
Chains. Kids love fucking chains.
Oh, my God. All right, guys. Well, if you're just tuning into whatever it is we're doing here, guys,
Because we don't know anymore.
It's derailed. I got small batch Kentucky bourbon. It's on. Are we going to get into what we're eating? Wrap it up. Put a bow on this bad boy.
You know what? Let me bring up that deck. We're hot swapping decks all night long here.
Real quick, while he does that, guys, we did. Comic Food Chain is live. We just got done talking about the importance of social media within the comic industry and how it affects us individually. Make sure you go back and watch if you're just tuning in. We are at 22 live viewers, 8 more viewers away, and I will give a book away to. Let's ask a question at the end to the chat. Whoever is in here participating and answers the question, we'll give it to that person. But guys, we didn't get a chance to do our What We're Eating recording. And we're about to get into that. So 7 more live viewers, 2 book giveaway to said question that Frankie or somebody will come up with. But let's kick this bad boy off. This is what we're eating for the week of August 4th. My daughter's birthday, my wife's birthday, and my birthday are all in August, just so you guys know.
Well, there are no holidays, so we needed something.
Damn right. All right. Who's kicking us off this week?
I think you're up first, but just the weekly award for best cover goes to me this week for American Vampire number 10. That is our title card. I fairly give it to the best cover or the most important cover every week, and there wasn't a lot of competition. Ooh. All right, let's kick it off. Ant, what do you got for your first pick?
Hit me. All right, guys, I got the Casey Jones, the best of. I've been digging the hell out of these. They've done one for each turtle. Splinter's had one. I believe April O'Neil is next. Of course, I had to go with my guy.
Arpel O'Neil.
Arpel?
There was a typo on the first version of the cover.
Shit.
Yeah.
And did you see the art? She looks
she looks stupid. And I think the background color is brown.
She looks like a South Park character.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, tan. Good job, guys. Going with tan as her background color.
But anyway, Casey is awesome.
Casey is a badass. Of course, he did it in my color, so I love the black and yellow on this. It's going to be the best of various artists, various writers. You guys are turtle fans, right? Are you guys picking these things up?
I wasn't originally, but then I buckled and I've been getting them. This one is giving me a little pause, though. I see what they're doing with the minimalist and the straps on the hockey mask, but it looks like he's like going bald down the middle and like it's freaking me out. It does look cool other than that.
Right. They're reaching on these covers for sure.
Yeah. Like they're going for these collectible, like similar art styles, that Power Ranger helmet thing kind of going on. And it was working, but I think as we get further along, they're getting less cool.
We are 3 views away from me giving away a sweet Paprika Tula Lotte cover. Sorry, just had to throw that in. Yeezy, what were you going to say?
Yeah, so I mean, I didn't hop on when they were first coming out, and I kind of knew what they were going to do, like, that it's coming out like once a quarter or something like that. And, I probably should have jumped onto it, but instead I've just been picking up actual back issues of what these comics are comprised of.
There you go.
And so, I mean, I'd rather have the originals than the reprint. But if this is your introduction into Ninja Turtles,
snobby ass, I'd rather have the originals. I don't buy facsimiles.
That's why I have one right here.
Okay.
That bourbon's treating you all right, huh?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm in it.
I mean,
all right. So this is my facsimiles are the only things I'll ever own for some of the super high ends.
What about those people paying hundreds of dollars for them? That's another episode. But
another episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got for your second pick?
Let's see what I picked. Porcelain. Okay, so this is Maria Lovett's Porcelain number 1. She's the writer. She's the artist. So this was interesting. I'm not a big horror fan. Not my thing. Not my genre, but this was pretty interesting, the synopsis. So basically, this character is trapped in a dollhouse. The longer said person is trapped, the more they turn into a porcelain doll to be a part of the decor to the house. And I thought, okay, that's creepy as fuck, but I think I can handle it. So I was in. I think this is a super cool premise. It's got just enough horror into it, just enough mystery. It's got that nice balance where it's not too gory because that's not my jam. I'm a jump scare guy. Hate it. But this seems creepy enough where I'd be able to enjoy it.
So you like more of that psychological thriller, suspense build up. Like
she's trying to figure out what the hell's going on, but her arm turns into porcelain, and the longer she's there, the more she becomes a doll. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Man, I have still not read any of Maria's work, but like every week that goes by, every new book I hear, I inch closer, and I'm about to make it like I don't know, summer reading list is a little late for that, but like I'm about to make it a thing that I'm going to go check out everything Bria's written and drawn because it all looks awesome.
All right, guys, we just hit 30. So that is now somebody, once we get to the end of the show, is going to get this book for sure. This book for sure. We keep it up, guys. Keep sharing out. I'm going to throw in the Bird City Comics exclusive for The Me You Love in the Dark, done by Ariel Diaz. This is a Cabin in the Woods homage. We are now 9 away from that one. Of course, you get to that magical 50 number, and Frank's got something super badass to give away. What you got, Frank?
Boom. This 1 of 100 Unborn number 1 announcement variant with foil on the pink spots.
Love that stuff.
Can't see it that good. This is one of the nice. This is a personal copy. I kept it for myself because one of the better printed ones. They all came out nice, but this is one of the better ones. So you can have this in your life if we hit that magical number 50.
Will you sign it if they request it?
I'll sign the comics you're giving away if they ask. I got no qualms.
Love it.
But if you are watching and you are not a regular viewer and you're here because somebody reached out to you to pump up our numbers tonight, if you like what we're doing, hit that sub button. I'm going to refresh this page real quick before we move on. Let's see. We've netted a couple subscribers tonight. Let's get a few more. Let's try and hit 950 by the end of the episode. Yeah, 7 more.
Sweet. I love it.
So if you're watching, you like it, hit that sub and let's get some more people in the chat. Let's give away some books. Let's make this a good fucking time. All right.
I love it. All right, hit me with my number 3.
Now for your number 3 pick, you've got
boom.
Good luck.
Spirit of Vengeance, a Spirit Rider number 1. B. Earl, the writer, Paul Davidson, the artist, with Jeffrey say it for me, Frank, because you're good at this stuff. Vrege. That's it.
I made that up.
But you always sound super convinced when you say it, so let's go with it.
So did you just combine Ver and reggae?
Good, it's confidence. I could have said Versace.
That's true.
I don't know why I want to read this. I like the Ghost Rider stuff. I think the character design, is what's really drawing me to this. The character design is killer. So I want to give it a number 1 a try. I'm looking forward to it. I like the art. It's very what am I thinking? Jen Bartelish. I like the color schemes.
Who are the artists?
Paul Davidson and Jeffrey Vrege.
Okay.
You like that?
Yeah. You know what? I'm not a Ghost Rider fan in general, so I wasn't going to check this out anyway. But seeing the cover, this is about the most 90s thing I've seen in a minute.
For real.
It's like Spirits of Vengeance, Spirit Rider. Like I can hear the 90s when I say it. So I probably won't be checking this out, but you never know.
Sure. I'll let you know what I think.
Well, I know that Marvel's been building up this character quite a bit.
I've never heard of them.
Like
who is it?
I forget her name. But it's a Native American.
So who was Anton Lee did those women? What was the women of the month? And that's not women.
Oh, Jen Bartel's women.
That's what it was.
Women of Power Month, right?
Something like that. Whatever it is.
Her
cover was badass.
Yeah, so that cover exploded, but then I think she had another series like with Marvel Voices, and I don't remember what her first appearance is, but I mean I probably should know that. But yeah, oh here we go, Kushala.
All right, I'm getting called out in the comments about having called this the most 90s things ever, having written a Power Rangers book, and you know what? That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I like it. All right, hit me with my last one.
All right, and for your non-comic pick,
there you go. And there's your first appearance. Thank you, Ultra.
Love it. So my non-comic pick, I watched finally the Masters of the Universe, the new He-Man run, beginning to end, and I fucking loved it.
So that was part 1.
Right. It was so good, and I was expecting to hate it, to make fun of it. I dug everything about it. I dug the adult humor. Just to give you guys a quick background, have you watched this yet, Frank?
I have.
Okay, so do you remember the part where they're retrieving relics, and they find the glove and take it to the person, and they're like, "Oh yeah, because people won't come because we don't have this glove." That chick's like, "No glove, no love." I was dying because it's a cartoon.
It's very, very Kevin Smith. Like
for real, super obvious jokes that you said in your head as it happened, and I was dying, and I binged it beginning to end, and I loved every second of it.
So you know what? I think that this is, we can bring this back around to the social media thing for a second, right? One of my rules for social media is just because you have an opinion about something doesn't mean you need to say you have an opinion about something.
Sure.
And that's not aimed at anyone who didn't like this show or liked it or whatever, but like that's just my rule of thumb. I don't usually give my opinions on things. And if I do, it's usually my good opinions, right? I don't give bad reviews about shit I didn't like, because if I do that and somebody reads it, they walk away with nothing in their life better, right? If I say I like the book, they can go check it out. If I say I didn't like a show, they have a show not to watch now. That's not helpful. But I also think it's important to take things in context, right? Like a lot of people will see, there's a lot of revivals happening right now. She-Ra, Voltron, He-Man, Netflix has got a lot of them. and understanding the context and who these things are for is a big part of having an opinion. And that's just something we can do a whole episode on anyway. But oh yeah. Look at that. Look at these. Look at these. Look at these. I love these comments. Anyway,
that's my guy, so that I can get away with that for him.
Yeah.
Social media, don't screenshot that and send that to me.
Too late. This is recorded. It's a one big long screenshot.
Yeah.
Damn it. And it's live. All right. All right. But honestly, I was not a huge fan of the original Masters of the Universe. All those 80 shows were kind of rote, right? Like the same thing over and over and over and over again. I appreciated the depth here. Some of the criticism, totally understand, but I liked it. It. I'm a big Buffy fan, so having Sarah Michelle Gellar as Tila, was that her name?
Mm-hmm, Tila.
Like that was a plus for me. I know some people weren't crazy about it, but that was cool for me,
dude. And watch the making of it too. I mean, if anybody was a fan of Buffy, we crushed on Sarah Michelle Gellar. She still looks the exact damn same. That bitch.
It's my girlfriend.
For realsies. All right. Who's next?
Yeah. Well,
all right.
I did watch it. I definitely.
He's here too.
Yeah, I definitely missed. Growing up, missed watching Masters of the Universe. So
I wasn't even born yet.
So for me, this is a good introduction, I think, into the series. I mean, I was kind of familiar with some of the characters and all that. I'm not as big of a fanboy as some of the other people I know, and so I guess I kind of have a fresh perspective onto it, and it was interesting to me.
Yeah, and I love how obvious the names are too. Evelyn, instead of Evelyn. I was like, I love how terrible.
He-Man. He's not just a man. He's He-Man. He's two man.
He's twice the man. All right, we can do another show on this one too. Who's next?
I think Yeezy, you're up. What do you got for your first pick?
So for my first book I picked this week, I chose Not All Robots, #1. This is written by Mark Russell and artist done by Mike Deodato. So basically, in this story, I found the synopsis very kind of interesting, that this story is taking place in 2056, where robots have replaced humans as in the workforce. So basically, everyone is reliant on robots, and then and so basically, it just leads you to believe what could go wrong with robots controlling your life. And so I think machines, so someone in the family decides that the robots are programmed to kill people. So let's see what this series is going to do. But it sounded kind of interesting to me.
I almost picked this too. So I saw the same synopsis. I thought it looks cool. I wanted to pick it, and then I saw that you had listed, and like, shit, I had to pivot.
This is a dope cover. I had not heard of this prior to seeing your picks come in when I was making the slides. Who's publishing this?
It's AWA, so artists, writers, and artisans.
Yeah. It looks cool. I can't help but feel like I saw a comment in the comments about the title, and maybe it changed, but I can't help but this title was picked maybe to stir a little controversy. And it's eerily similar to a rallying call of a certain group of people. Anyway, what do you got for your second pick?
All right, so for my next pick, I chose We Don't Kill Spiders, #1. This is written by Joseph Schmelke, and artist also done by him. I've been enjoying his work that he's published for the last couple books. Electric Black was one of my picks. Cherry Blackbird. So when I kind of saw the preview for this, I was like, oh, this looks kind of interesting. So might as well keep on reading what he's writing.
So I read this yesterday, and it's pretty good.
Nice.
I'm on the same boat. Like, you guys are gonna make fun of me, but I will wrestle an alligator. I will kill a snake in my house. I will not touch a spider. Like, my wife's got to kill him. Okay. And so I ordered these. I'm like, oh, we don't kill spiders. I'm like, neither do I. Fuck it, order them. And then I got it in my box with all my exclusives. Because
this is a pro retailer,
right? And I was like, I like the title, so I just ordered like 10 random copies or something like that. And then so I got them and I flipped through it. The first thing I noticed that Scout prints on fantastic paper, dude. That cardstock is nice. It's matte. I'm like holding the book. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna read this bad boy.
It's made for 9.8s.
There you go.
No, I mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It was good stuff.
And Schmelke, he got me hooked on Phantom Star Killer. So anything like after that, like I've just been picking up anything he's been putting out.
Joe's a buddy. He's done exclusives for Dead End Kids 2 and No Heroin, and like, I'm sure we'll work together again. I love his style. I'm a big fan of like his coloring choices, his minimalist style. So this any book he puts out, absolutely on my radar, always gets a shot.
Yep, good stuff. All right, hit me with the next one.
All right, so for my third pick, of course, I'm gonna pick Deadpool, Black, White, and Blood. The writers are various and the artists are various. So, his series ended like with, was it 10 issues or something like that? So anytime a Deadpool series comes out, I'll pick up at least one of the covers.
Wait, Deadpool got canceled after 10 issues?
I think it was like 10 or 12 or something like that.
What world are we living in where the most popular Marvel character can't carry a title for 12 issues?
I think that's like pretty much all of them now.
Well, Scotty Young was writing the good one before he jumped off of it, and then it got weird, and then I was like, all right.
Yeah, and that went to a different writer. And
right.
It was like it went into that whole like medieval universe stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The War of the Realms started derailing it and all kinds of craziness.
Real quick, what's our live count?
28.
28. All right, so fall down.
We've hit 32. It seems to teeter.
All right, guys, keep bringing your friends and get us up to 40 live views so we can give away that house book that he wants to give away.
There we go, Ultra. Yep,
that's the one. You know what I'm talking about. Cabin in the Woods knockoff.
Cabin in the Woods knockoff right here.
That's not the
Big
name
Bird
of the
Comics.
And I don't remember what my non-comic pick was.
It's gonna stick.
All right, and thank you, Jay Burns. Check out also our previous What We're Eating videos. We all have different picks throughout that. So, I mean, you might find them in back issue bins.
There you go. All right. Hit me with your non-comic.
Wait. Who's going to find new comics in a back issue bin?
Like, since I...
I see what you're saying. That's good advice. Yeah, go get them dollar books before they become $5 books. You know what I mean?
Or higher.
Anthony's motto. All right.
What do you got for my living?
What do you got for your non-comic pick?
I don't remember. Oh yeah, Snake Eyes. So I definitely want to check out the Snake Eyes movie. I don't think it's streaming anywhere, so I'll probably actually have to go to a movie theater, and I'll probably pick a night where it's not super busy. And so
Tuesday. Go on Tuesday.
Go on Tuesday.
So this isn't what you're eating. This is what you're potentially munching on.
This is what's on the menu.
There you go.
This is what I'll probably be doing Thursday, since I don't have any podcasts or anything going on that night.
There you go. Yeah, let me know what you think, because I tried to get some feedback from my kiddo that went and saw, and he was like, "It's good."
Yeah.
What happened? He's got a sword. No shit.
Yeah, I've heard mixed reviews on it. So I mean, I grew up on G.I. Joe. That was like one of the first things that got me into comics. So I definitely want to see what two of my favorite characters from G.I. Joe are doing: Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow.
Love it.
And did your kid walk in and be like, "Oh yeah, Snake Eyes beat the Suns too"? Did he spoil that?
Dude, he might as well. He might as well.
Snake Eyes. I didn't love the G.I. Joe movies. I didn't grow up on G.I. Joe. Like, I just missed it as a kid. I remember seeing a little bit of it. Like, it's fine. It's not my jam necessarily. I'm sure I'll see it eventually. But there's a lot of movies coming out all of a sudden, like, because things are opening back up. And there's definitely a handful of things way ahead of this. I saw Fast 9 last week. Superb. A film, not a movie. A film.
I want to watch Jungle Cruise.
I watched that the other night. Not as good as I wanted.
Really?
Right.
I've heard mixed reviews on FF9 also. So
no, it was a terrible movie. It was a great film. Listen, if you've seen the other 8, it is just the cherry on top of an incredible exploding octane sundae.
My favorite thing about those films are the Japanese translated titles.
Oh yeah. They're crazy. All right. So
all right, bring it home for us, Frank. What do you got for your picks of the week?
We're on to Frank. So for Frank's first pick, Frank has 7 Secrets, number 11 by Tom Taylor and Daniele Di Niculo. This is probably going to be on my picks every single time it's coming out. I love this series. It's a masterclass in world building, in character design. I love that the art has a little bit of an anime influence. You don't see a lot of that in American comics, and it's a nice bridge between the two. So there's a lot of fresh, panel angles and stuff like that in there. Like I learn a lot every time I read. It's also just a genuinely good character-driven story. I love this. Tom Taylor can do no wrong. Show me a bad book he's written, and I'll call you a fucking liar. Easy pick.
Yeah, I mean, I read the first couple issues, and I don't remember if I liked it or not, but I don't think I continued reading it. So I probably should pick up the trade and at least like give the first 5 issues a shot to see if I enjoy it or not. Yeah, but I remember enjoying the first couple issues, but then I think I started focusing on something else.
It's a little bit of a slow burn, and there's a lot of characters to learn. But like once it gets going, it gets going. I think if I could go back and read it as a trade, that would have been the better way to read it.
Okay. I mean, I know a lot of the covers that have come out for that series have been super impressive. Like all their hidden secret variants and stuff like that. So yeah.
So super side note. Sorry, I killed my camera real quick because one of my kids started yelling, and she's like, "Dad, are you going to need this back?" And I was like, "Yeah, give it back to me. I want to flip through it again." So that's what she was yelling about. I was like, "Butte, what do you want?" And she was giving me back the Suburban Job stuff.
I hear that book's tits. I hear it's great.
Don't go to get a haircut and have your name called while you're trying to read it because you're going to want to finish it.
All right. So that's my first pick. Any thoughts on Seven Secrets, Ant?
I'm still waiting for the trade. I'm so far behind. One of my buddies, my best friend that I've known since like 2nd grade, watches our show, and he was like, "I'm reading it. I got them all. They're great." And I'm like, "Don't tell me anything." And the dick's been like texting me like cheaters.
If you care about something, you need to read it before it comes out if you want to avoid spoilers.
Oh yeah, no, but he knows me so well, so he's doing it on purpose to be an ass, which is awesome.
Oh, and then also let me get a second to plug Ultra Show. Like, if you don't know, he does a full coverage over FOC and does a secret variant show on Sundays. So tell your friends if you want to see an in-depth coverage of all the different publishers.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know.
And it's a secret.
Excellent. Anyway, for my second pick, I've got American Vampire number 10. This one kind of got spoiled up front because it's our title card. This is our cover of the week because I get to choose that. I'm excited to read this. I have not read any of the issues in this series. I'm a huge American Vampire fan. I gave away my copy of number 1 as one of the giveaways, maybe around 500 subs way back. But I've been sitting on this. I like to read Scott Snyder stuff kind of in one go because it's dense and it's nuanced. And like if I wait month to month, I'll forget stuff. So the last issue comes out tomorrow. Super excited to finally get to check it out. I caught up on 7 to Eternity, so I can finish that this week too. The last issue of that comes out this week. That might be my next pick. Might have ruined that.
7 into Eternity has been the shit. Love it.
It is. We'll talk about that when the next slide comes up. But anyway, American Vampire number 10 or 1976 number 10 comes out. This whole series is just wonderfully epic beginning to finish. Like there is almost 100 years of history that plays out over the course of 8 or 9 trades now. And it's so cool to see this world, see how Scott expands it. It really is a masterclass in writing if you're interested in that kind of stuff. And just Raphael Albuquerque is such an incredible artist.
The dude is way underrated.
Oh yeah, so definitely.
Incredible. And like just I'm a sucker for like monotone or colored covers. Like this shit just speaks to me. So that's where I'm at.
I'm in. I like it. All right, hit me with your next one.
All right, and last but not least, 7 to Eternity number 17, the final issue of the series. I think this started coming out 4 years ago at this point, maybe even longer. It's been a ride getting here. It's been worth every second. Jerome Peña's art is so gorgeous, so detailed, and the scope of it is so big in this book. I'm amped. Like it took me a while to get onto this. I started reading the first few issues a couple times. It's dense. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of characters to learn. I kind of fell off after a few false starts. I finally got going and have been keeping up with it as it's been coming out over the last couple of years. Like I said, I spent the last few days catching up on like the last 4 or 5 issues. I'm ready for this. I can already tell you that this is going to be like one of the books I recommend to people, no matter how it finishes. Like it's just that good up to this point. The finale is just kind of going to be like icing on the cake.
Yeah, these are phenomenal. Yeezy, have you read these?
So I'm kind of like Frank. I started the first trade and then like never really finished it, and it's like kind of like got sidetracked with something else. So I guess like, if you're both recommending it, I'll definitely check it out.
So, real quick background: one of my kids, she's a super reader. She will read big, thick novels, beginning to end, and knock them out in a weekend. That's her thing. She doesn't care for comic books per se. So, her and I have an agreement where if I give her something to read, it means that I believe she'll like it and it will be good. And if I ever hand her garbage that she hates, she never has to read another one again. So, I have to be very selective with what I give her. Okay.
Nice.
And I gave her this trade, and she's like, "Well, how's it kick off?" And I'm like, she's got a bow and arrow. She's shooting an enchanted arrow that happens to be a snake. She's going to control it with her mind to make it crawl into what she's hunting to bite it in the heart. And she's like, "All right, give me the book." I was like, "You're damn right." And she's loved all of it. So this is a good read.
I mean, but yeah, I'm also like not a huge into fantasy and stuff like that. So that's maybe why I'm a bit hesitant on this. But I mean, I'll definitely give it a second go around.
I'm not a big fantasy person either. Like, it took a lot for me to watch Lord of the Rings back when that was on my picks. This fantasy world is so bright and imaginative and like different than anything I've ever seen. Like, there's no elves and no wizards and any of that bullshit. It really is very, very original. And it almost reads like a sci-fi book that's just set in a world that's kind of desolate.
That's what I was just about to say. It's fantasy sci-fi is what it feels like.
All right, then I think
fantasy sci-fi adventure.
Like imagine,
I'm gonna definitely find my trade now. And then
imagine a gun that fires nails that are little bits of the spirit of your ancestors, and you can use the one nail with that ancestor in it to like do something crazy. Like, it's like just there's a city that floats on balloons, like weird shit.
Okay.
Cool.
There's a frog that when he croaks, he says gold because he's greedy. Like, it's just weird and different. It's awesome.
It's good stuff. You'll dig it. And then the writing is fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. It is very Rick Remender. Like, it is very, it reads a lot like a Deadly Class.
Okay.
In that it's kind of morose and a little nihilistic. And it's very much a conversation about like good and evil and like them versus us kind of stuff. It's very interesting because it's not the argument you think is going to get made. Anyway, everyone should go check this out. This is the last issue. I'm sure the last trade will be out in the next 3 months. You can read all 4 of them straight. I would recommend that. Though the covers are pretty dope, so they're worth collecting.
Nice.
All right. So for my non-comic pick, I have Modern Times beer.
Nice.
I love beer. I love Modern Times. It's my favorite brewery.
I love Scotch.
I found them when I came out to the West Coast. The West Coast, for all the breweries it has, all the breweries out here are kind of the same. Show me a brewery not making a hazy IPA right now. All right, like that's all. Modern Times does some really interesting shit. They're always experimenting, always doing really cool stuff. Look at the cans. Tell me that I don't love these cans. They look like the covers of my book.
They totally do.
But this past weekend, one opened in Oakland, right across the bay from me, right before the pandemic hit, and I never got to go because everything shut down. I finally got a chance to head over there. It's the only location in the U.S. that I haven't been to. It was awesome. I bought some great beer. They had this beer that I'm drinking right now called Nectarnomicon. It's a sour, but it's really citrus based. It's not like any other sours you would have. It tastes a little bit like Tang with booze in it. It's pretty awesome. They take this, they cut it with a little hard seltzer and put it into a slushy that they serve at the brew house. So good. But yeah, that's just what's kind of making me happy these days. Getting out there. I used to love going to breweries with my wife. It's part of the reason we got together, is kind of going on adventures and being able to do a little bit more of that is it's definitely on my plate these days.
All right, I want to give a shout out to Eric S. Hurd for letting us know what his pickups of the week are going to be.
Good choices.
Yeah. And then,
all right, guys, we got Comics with Bueller in the house. I love this. This guy is killing it on the social media, and here you go. How's that for it?
And then,
post and yell about it.
Right. The only thing I have to say about beer in Houston, it's kind of weird that one of our biggest craft brewers got bought out by Budweiser. So Carbach got bought out by Budweiser. I mean, but they're still like what? St. Arnold's is still around.
I switched to small batch bourbon, so
that's Austin for you.
I'm a classy motherfucker.
I mean,
gotta go to Austin for
if
that.
you like booze that aren't Irish whiskey, then that's a fine choice.
Well, I was gonna say, as soon as I'm out of this expensive bottle, I'll be back on beer. So
It's how it goes.
I love it. All right, guys, if you guys enjoyed everything that you just saw, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We'll get into some slides. I'm sure that we'll tell you to do all of those goodies. We got into the 30 range, so I'm giving away 2 books tonight. I'm going to come up with some question. First person to answer it will get the books. What do you guys good with that?
That works.
Let's think about what the question should be about, though.
Okay,
right?
sure.
Let's test the knowledge of what happened in this episode.
Here we go.
I've got one.
Hit me. I'm good with whatever.
All right. People in the comments. First person to comment with the correct answer will get these books. When is my birthday?
What month? You guys are going to get a Tula Lotte Sweet Paprika, and you're going to get a Department of Truth 11 by Zoo or Zoo.
Everyone's going over to Facebook to check.
Yeah, and then
Nigel Tunson in before it was cool. He's like a hipster drinking his coffee. Drank before it was cool.
Where'd it go? Oh yeah, Nigel. Yep, dude, that filtered in crazy.
that came by really fast. I didn't even see it.
Ultra gets a no prize for getting it completely fucking wrong, probably on purpose.
Right. All right. So Nigel, I will be adding these to your Bird City box. You will get these copies.
Oh, good. You're US based. Thank God.
Right.
We'll get into this in a minute, but we do have to do our 900 giveaway. We will be doing that next episode. So tune in for that. Everyone who is subscribed to the channel, I guess, is in for it. We haven't figured out the details, but we will explain everything and we'll reveal the winner next week on the episode. Let's bring up the deck one more time, go through the little bit of house cleaning. Nope, that's the wrong one. Let's stop sharing that.
Wait, I will be giving away both those books, and then I did not get it pressed yet. So whoever the winner is, will decide if you want me to send it out to Red Hood Comics for pressing, or if you want to send it out yourself. I'll leave it up to y'all. But whoever the winner is.
All right, bring me up, Scotty. There it is. All right. Be sure to join us next week for episode 24. We're coming up on that big 25 milestone. We're going to be talking about misprint and error comics. You can see in the background of the slide, we've got the infamous Fantastic Four number 110, which was printed with 2 wildly different color versions of the just due to printing error. So we're going to dig into that kind of stuff. I've got a really cool personal story about a printing error on one of my books. So definitely swing by, check that out. If you haven't, sub the channel, follow us on Instagram, hit the little bell for notifications. Do all those things. We love making this stuff for you guys. This is our chill time, right? We work all week. This is where we come hang out. We get the goof off. We get to have fun. We hope you guys are having fun with us. And if you are, sub, follow, hit the bell. Do us a solid, support the channel. We'll keep making this shit for you. It's great.
Hell yeah. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Real quick. Let's last nuggets of wisdom before we get out of here for the night. Let's go reverse style. Yeezy. What do you want to leave the people with?
So as a sneak preview, I just decided to display this comic. It's actually a error version comic. So tune in next week to find out what the error is.
I see what you did there.
You know what my favorite error is? When a pricing error.
That does happen.
Sure does.
I love it.
I'm going to reiterate what I said earlier because I think it's important. And I don't mean this to be sarcastic. I really fucking mean it. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean you need to post your thought out in the world for people to see. And if you have a negative thought, chances are that's one of those thoughts. Right?
It's, gosh, yes, absolutely.
Put good vibes out into the world, right? Tell people about the stuff you love so that they have something to go check out.
And encourage your fellow man. I mean, the thing that I can't stand the most is if somebody goes, check out what I did. And then you go, oh yeah, check out what I did. Give people their kudos, pats on the back. Everybody needs some love. So just encourage each other to continue to grow.
I want to say the same thing, double that, right? Like we have such a culture where it's like, oh man, I worked a 40-hour week. Oh fuck, I worked a 45-hour week. We don't have to one up each other. Also, working overtime is not something to brag about. Like that sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks. Complain about that, but not on Facebook. Like it's a whole thing.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, just
Encourage your fellow man.
Ant is so good about giving positive reinforcement, and like every time I do something, he has something fucking nice to say about it.
I'm happy
me off because I can't do it. I can't do it back for him. I can't. It's impossible. Look at it.
So real quick, my favorite page. Is there spoilers yet?
Son of a bitch. Are all the pages in order? I haven't flipped through one yet.
This is my favorite page in the whole book, which happens to be the end because it's not the end. It is just like the what do you call it? The end of the story that has nothing to do with the actual story.
What? You call it the what?
It's called the PS.
Okay.
That page is fantastic. Like I got to the end of the story, I'm like, this is badass. And then you gave us a little extra, and I'm like,
okay, yeah.
wow.
So in storytelling, we call that the denouement. It comes after the climax. It's the wind down.
Okay.
Right? Like it's when you're kind of organizing house, showing how everybody kind of shook out at the end. I like that page a lot too. It is structurally one of my favorite things I've ever written because as you go down it reveals things. And like when you get to the end, it is a big punch in the nuts.
You know, not to sound super like fancy, but like you guys go to Europe or something like Italian and you have dinner, you have dessert. And then when you're done, they go, oh, you want a cappuccino? And you're like, what? Yeah, I want a fucking cappuccino. And it's just that little extra at the end that has nothing to do with what you just experienced. It's just that little bit. Here's a little more. And you enjoy the fuck out of it.
And that's not even the last thing in the book. There's extra after that.
Well, there's an epilogue, but that goes back into the story. But that was like super side note.
Yeah. Anyway,
I loved it.
Appreciate the kind words.
Continue.
Appreciate. No, you were talking.
I love it.
I interrupted you.
But yeah, that's my nugget, guys. Give your fellow men a pat on the back. Encourage people when they do things that are well. Don't try to one up them. And we'll get along better, and this will be a better place for all of us to coexist in. Is that it? Anybody else?
I'm feeling pretty good. Let's bring up the slides one more time. I just want to remind everybody about our road to 1,000. We are. Let me just refresh this. We netted a couple extra subs. So we got a couple subs tonight. We are almost halfway from 900 to 1,000. Let's keep that up. Try and give this Canto #1 San Diego Comic-Con edition from 2 years ago, signed by David and Drew. Let's give that away in the next few episodes to one of you incredible people who come out here every week and support us. We appreciate you, and we want to give this book to you.
Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna hit them with it. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Until next time, stay hungry, y'all.